Hey everybody, what's going on? Hope you guys are having a great morning. What better way to kick off a morning than talking about some Guns N' Roses news? So we have some Guns N' Roses news, and this is more in the rumor category. This is according to a forum member on the MyGNR forums called Eddie Money. And no, it's not Eddie Money who's saying two tickets to paradise. I remember when I first heard his name because he was involved with some of the rumors that was going around when Guns N' Roses first announced their reunion. And I thought it was actually the actual singer Eddie Money who had an in with the Guns N' Roses guys, but I guess not. So he has some follow-up to Steven Adler's interview with Mitch Lafon. You know, if you guys heard the interview or watched any of my videos, you would have known that Steven said that he was supposed to be involved with the reunion in a pretty big way by playing all the Appetite songs, the Lies songs, and a few of the Illusion songs. But then he injured his back, and then the guys in the band basically turned against him and said, no, you're not going to be involved with the reunion tour other than just making a few guest appearances. So according to Eddie Money, from what I heard, Steven nor Izzy Stradlin were invited for anything more than guest roles in the first place. They were going to have Steven at the Troubadour, Vegas, Coachella, and Mexico City in the opening and closing slots. When they all met at rehearsals, nobody believed Steven could play full shows. Axl had told Slash, Duff, and Betta and Del James that it was okay to invite Steven down to rehearse with them with the understanding that Frank would play the majority of the shows and that Axl had to agree to Duff and Slash's recommendations of where they should let him play. So I guess Steven doesn't seem to be lying but just exaggerating and stretching the truth a bit. The interview makes it seem like he was in for the entire tour and that he would play as much, if not more, than Frank. So that's what Eddie Money has to say about it. Was it true? You know, nobody's really going to know until we see some sort of statement put out by the guys from Guns N' Roses. So we've also got a new photo of Axl. This is with some fans in Perth, Australia. As you guys know, Guns played Perth last night, and it's their last show of their Australia tour before they head over to Southeast Asia. Now, according to some of the articles I've read, Guns N' Roses got pretty good reviews for their show in Perth. This is from The Guardian. They said Axl even got an extra cheer for knowing what city he was in Guns N' Roses wows Perth crowd at their final Australian concert after that Melbourne gaffe. I feel really bad for the guys from Guns because it wasn't Axl who said the wrong city name, it was Mick Bob. And you know, these dumb journalists write these kinds of articles. People who aren't really fans of the band may read it and think, oh, how stupid is Axl? He didn't know what city he was in. Well, it's not Axl's fault. And of course, these kind of journalists don't go and, correct their mistakes unless people point it out to them. And through reading the comments, I didn't see anywhere where it was mentioned that it was Mick Bob's fault and not Axl's. So we've got an article related to Guns N' Roses that came out in the last week or so. It's from digitalmusicnews.com, and it's basically about the 100 best-selling albums of all time. It's now been updated for 2017, and I'd always heard that Appetite for Destruction was one of the best-selling albums of all time. So this is the list. Number 1 is Michael Jackson's Thriller. It sold 33 million certified units. Now keep in mind, guys, these are only for the US. These are only US-based numbers. These are not worldwide record sales. So number 2 is the Eagles, their greatest hits album. Number 3 is Billy Joel. Number 4, of course, is Led Zeppelin. Number 5 is Pink Floyd. 6 is Back in Black. I really have a hard time believing this. Garth Brooks sold 21 million records. Fleetwood Mac, 20 million. This one, I feel like it's a huge mistake they made on the list. There's no way Shania Twain sold 20 million records and outsold Appetite for Destruction and the Beatles. Like, the Beatles are number 10 on the list. Appetite is number 11. And of course, the Illusions records aren't even on the list. The 100th best-selling album is Mariah Carey's album Daydream. That sold 10 million copies. And, if you look at the Illusions records, I think it sold about 7.5 million per album. So Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 combined sold about 15 million albums. And then we've got some news about this festival in the UK. So there's something called the Local Fake Festival, and it's going to feature tribute acts to Guns N' Roses, David Bowie, Arctic Monkeys, Blondie, and Coldplay. Now, probably the most best-known Guns N' Roses cover band is a band called Guns to Roses. They've been around since 2002, and they're going to be headlining the Fake Festival. They're playing a place called Keynsham. I'm not really familiar with where it's at, but the entire idea of the festival is that it's going to host a bunch of tribute acts taking the stage. And I kind of wonder if any of you guys have seen Guns to Roses before. I haven't. I've heard some good reviews about these guys, and they also brag that they're the only GNR tribute band to play live with 4 different members of Guns N' Roses. They also said they are the longest running, closest looking, and most internationally recognized GNR tribute in the world. So let me know if you guys have seen them. If they ever came to my town, I might go see them. There was another Guns N' Roses tribute band that actually headlined a local rock festival in the city I live in. I think they were called Guns for Roses. And I did see some of their YouTube videos, but they didn't look very good, so I didn't go see the show. Plus, they were charging $80 a ticket, which I thought was outrageous. So let me know if you guys have seen them. Let's go into our next piece of news. So we've got a book review of Mick Wall's new book, Guns N' Roses, Last of the Giants. This is from Times Live, and they gave it a pretty solid review. They said Mick Wall nails it with his biography of one of the greatest bands ever. So I did a review of the book too. If you guys want to check it out, go hit the description box down below. And then I've also linked to the actual Times Live article as well. So this is the final piece of news we'll cover. Somebody on the Guns N' Roses forums posted this tattoo. This is a tattoo of course, Guns N' Roses logo with DJ Ashba. I've never really seen that many DJ Ashba fans getting tattoos, but I want to know from you guys, what are your thoughts on this tattoo? I mean, of all the guitarists in the world, you just couldn't put Slash on your body. I don't really get it, but let me know what your guys' thoughts are. I know some of you guys do have some pretty cool looking tattoos, so let me know. That basically does it for today's news, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for all things related to Guns N' Roses, and be sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. My social media links are down below. Take care.